wanna be there when you cry, so that I can wipe the tears from your eyes. Cause I want you so badly. I wanna be there when you cry, so that I can wipe the tears from your eyes. I love you.
So map skills are very important on a Merite Jeunesse trip. You can see here is our map. We have it in a waterproof case so that it doesn't get wet, obviously. And we have our route, and you have to make sure when you plan your route, you have to have it really easily distinguishable, because you know, if it's like out of highlighter or something, you sometimes don't know where you're going, and that's an easy way to get lost. When making your route, you have to be careful of these lines here, these contour lines. Basically they indicate what's the word? Hills and valleys in the road, because there's lots of them grouped together. Basically, for each contour line, it means that the ground has either gone up or gone down 5 meters. It's 5 meters in Luxembourg, right? 5 meters, I was right. And so when there's lots grouped together, that means that that's like a very steep incline right there, which is really difficult to walk up. So you have to be careful and adjust your route accordingly to the lines, and make sure that even if you are going to go up a steep hill, you have to set your route card so that you have enough time to do that.
I wanna be there when you cry, so that I can wipe the tears from your eyes. Cause I want you so badly. I wanna be there when you cry.
So when you're on a Merite Jeunesse expedition, you have to make sure that you wear your backpack properly, because if you don't wear it properly, then that can cause some major issues. It can really hurt your shoulders and make the experience really uncomfortable. You have to make sure that your belt is on top of your hips and tight, so that you keep the weight off your shoulders. You can see I have no weight on my shoulders at all. Okay, and then you want to keep this strap closed so that they don't hurt too much, and then just make sure everything is on nice and tight, and so that it doesn't hurt. And then you will have a nice Merite Jeunesse experience with your friends.
When they say I don't want to show you how I move, I wanna sing for you, but I got nothing to prove.
Okay, so on a Merite, this is a compass, and on a Merite Jeunesse expedition, your compass is your best friend. It helps you, you can tell where you're going, basically. So on a map, you use it with your map most of the time, and obviously, if you don't know, the red line here, this red magnetic thing, always points to north, no matter which direction the compass is in. So what you can do with your map is you can help that to orientate your map in the right direction. So here's how you do that. Basically, say you wanted, for the beginning, we'll say you just wanted the map to be facing like in the correct direction to the way you're going. So maps, the text is always read it as if the top is north. So what you want to do is you want to get the compass and you see where the red is, and you can turn this around. It makes it easier. You put that in with a red line, just like that, until everything matches up, and then put that on your map, and then you orientate the map until these blue lines here, can you see those? This blue line here matches up with your compass, and see when that's all matched up, that means your map is now pointing the same way as the direction you're going. There you go.
Okay, hello, and today we will be doing a tutorial on finding your bearing, or if you don't know what that means, locating your direction. So what you do is you take your compass, and take your map, and you put the compass on the map. Use the blue arrow to find which direction you want to head, so if you want to head that way, you can. You then use these red and black lines to line up with the blue lines. Ru, could you help me out with that?
Yep, the blue lines on the map.
So just twist it like that.
So that way the red arrow points north. This red arrow, this one right there. Bingo. Bingo.
You then use the outside of this compass to find out which direction you're heading. So right here, it says 120.
You can see, I don't know if it's kind of hard to see. You can see there's a kind of line on the 0. It's kind of like 122 degrees. So that way, you can, whenever anyone wants to know what direction you're going, you can say 122 degrees. Or, that's about southeast.
Okay, so we're gonna explain how to respect property, nature, and events, monumental events.
So, for example, you don't go and sit on memorials or statues while going.
When it comes to being at a field and you have to cross it, you leave the gate as you found it. So if it was open, you leave it open so the farmer doesn't have to open it again in case he's doing some farming work. Or if you found it closed, then you leave it closed again.
Because they might not want to let, for example, if there's cows in there, out.
And if you have a wrapper from a cereal bar or something like that, you put it in your pocket and keep it until you find a bin to put it in.
And when you're walking around, don't be too loud because it will stir other people who want peace and quiet.
And the animals.
Yeah, and the animals as well. So you just have to respect everything.
And also you don't go into other people's properties in case it's like
So that I can wipe the tears from your eyes. I love you so badly. I wanna be there when you cry.
Water and food are vital to your Merite Jeunesse trip because if you don't have enough water, it could mean that you become dehydrated and you lose your lack of coordination and you could seriously hurt yourself. Also with food, if you do not ration your food, then you may not have enough food on the second day and you may find that you'll be stumbling a lot and you won't have enough energy to finish at the end. And when you are on your trip, make sure you are having snacks throughout, because if you don't have snacks then you may run out of energy and you might, become not coordinated and you might hurt yourself. And also remember, when you do pack your actual meals, you have to remember that you have to have dry food, because no sort of wet food, wet foody stuff like milk is okay, but you can get like special powdered milk, canned milk, but things like meat, you don't want to get like food poisoning, so don't bring much meat, because that can be bad.
Just don't bring meat at all, apart from beef jerky. That one's
Yeah,
allowed.
and don't bring McDonald's.
Or Burger King for that point, or KFC.
Just basically don't go shopping for those things afterwards.
Alright, that's been a tip and a trick from your best bud.
Be there when you cry, so that I can wipe the tears from your eyes. 'Cause I want you so badly.
Yeah.
Let's have a break here. We have a break.
Really nice. Oh my God, Paulina.
no, are you
okay,
okay?
are you okay, Paulina? Are you okay? What's happening? So in this situation, what should happen is one person should get the escape notes out straight away and look for the nearest place to find help.
Okay.
Then you should send two people off to go send help.
Get Mr. Kennedy.
Okay. And then he should instantly make sure he's okay. And then Patrick here will begin to call our teacher before calling the ambulance to make sure that it's serious enough first.